Okay, let's face facts. Australia has an outrageous racist past, so looking a bit pale in fact. Grab a spray can and paint it black.
Hey, I'm Emma Garlett and welcome to Paint It Black. Today I have a really special guest with me, Nate from 3NA, who I have the pleasure to speak with. So thank you so much for coming into the studio.
Oh, thank you for opening up this space for this sort of stuff.
So can you tell me a bit about yourself and what you do?
So I was born on Aranda country in Alice Springs quite a few years ago now. Moved around a lot. Grew up north of Australia on a small chain of islands called the Northern Mariana Islands. Which is Chamorro country, but it's now owned by the United States, so it's America, like Saipan and Guam. And was sort of influenced by that culture as a kid. Mum's from this side of the world and from Perth, so that's how we ended up here. And dad's from West Sydney sort of area.
So who is 3NA?
3NA is the collection of myself, Nathan Curran, and my two brothers, Diggy Dialect and DC Sir. I go by Nate 1. We're three blood brothers. We do hip-hop music and come together to, take the world by storm.
So freestyling between the three of you brothers?
Yeah.
And so 3NA has yourself and then your two brothers.
Right.
How did that all start?
Right. Well, as I mentioned, that was the environment that we were in. So Matt, who's the eldest, him and I, went to some pretty rough schools and lived in some pretty rough neighborhoods. Dan was a few years younger, so he was just influenced by us, being his big brothers. And, we, took a liking to it or a loving to it, I think. And I think given our difficult schooling situation as well, that, right from the get-go, we were put on the back foot in terms of academia and, couldn't spell or read right for the longest period of time and gravitated more towards the art side of things in order just to, I guess, use your brain on something creative. And there's actually an intricate art to it that's not often well known and often well confused, for other forms of hip-hop and rap. So we kept at it, and I think it's taught me a lot about everything. Yeah.
And now, these days, 2025, you've travelled the world with music.
Yeah.
And you've performed for some pretty big artists as well.
Yeah.
I read your bio and I was so impressed as well. I saw all of it. Do you mind sharing some of the people that you've worked with or opened for in performing?
I mean, we've done a lot of work out of the States with Cypress Hill and a lot of West Coast cats like that.
Yo, check this, Hypersonic Records coming live and direct with the man Dialect, featuring the boy Send Off from Cypress Hill, West Coast Aussie meets West Coast LA.
Exhibit and done some shows with them before. My brother's the connect and the go-to with that, so he just hooks up and connects with everyone, and he's got tracks with Royce, the 5'9", and we've done some tracks with some fellas from D12 and that. So pretty big name people, I guess, and I'm the humble one, so yeah.
Oh, you don't have to be humble here. It's very inspiring, everything that you've done.
I mean, we're good, you know what I mean? And if you don't want me to be humble, then I'll blow my own horn, and that's the truth of it. And I think a lot of people don't realize about hip-hop, it is a competitive art, and a competitive sport. And when you're at the top of your game, you're able to recognize that in other people and recognize that talent. I mean, it's just the greatest thing in terms of breaking down barriers for us. We've been all over the world, right from, Perth to the middle of South Central, and always been respected by people from that walk of life because of the art, right? It's if you look at hip-hop like chess, right, and you're a grandmaster, you instantly get respect for that. It doesn't, the person factors go out of the window, and I think being such a close brotherhood, it allows us to always challenge each other. So it'd be like having a brother that you're both chess masters, or all three of you are chess masters at, so you're constantly challenging each other, right, and constantly pushing each other to get better and elevate.
What I was really impressed by is the fact you were an occupational therapist, you work in health, you also lecture in OT at Curtin University, and then your brother's a doctor, and then you all have all these other careers, and then you're hip-hop celebrities as well.
Yeah.
How do you manage it all?
Well, one day at a time and one step at a time. And I think it hasn't always been that way, right? Like it's been more about finding our feet and finding our place in society, given that we weren't sort of brought up here and there isn't really a niche or a spot for people like us or people from our background. I think that extends to a lot of like Aboriginal people in general, is that the society was set up to favour certain things and to create barriers, for certain people who are inclined certain different ways, right? Like if you can't read or write that well, then you're obviously going to struggle more in society or getting a degree or whatever. So a lot of my, since I've gotten older, it's realising that. It's realising that there isn't a set pathway for me in society, and it's about how do I craft that path, right? Like, and lead to new lands. And I think in doing things like that, you then open up that pathway for other people to follow if they are so inclined and share your, internal.
Yeah. Like this, like you said, the system's not there, but you've worked really hard and now you're making paths for other people to follow, and you're really good at what you do. So I wonder, in the music industry, how has that been being Aboriginal men?
Yeah. I think in Australia it's been difficult in general, given that the people who are involved with the music are sort of under that sort of societal umbrella. And for a long time, Australia had a period of not really being that conscious of that systemic inbuilt racism, right? So a lot of industries and stuff have been set up with certain, closed doors in regards to allowing us in. I guess it's good now because we are respected for that. Like, things have changed in that regard, that people want to hear from voices outside of the inner circle, right? And I think that's where we're really coming from. It's that everything you hear me say and everything you hear me speak is from my own accord, right? I don't tend to take thoughts from other people's things, and the fact that I didn't grow up reading books, all my knowledge that I acquired is from my own gathering, right? So it's not say like you're writing a thesis where you're piecing together little bits and pieces of other people's work in order to create your work. You're actually creating something. So I think there's actually something really special and really magical to that isn't really well understood or well acknowledged, that we're creating something new. And it's happening very organically, right? Like, the life that we grew up in was a hip-hop life, and it was a hard life. We had a real hard life, so we didn't have opportunities to just live comfortably for a long period of time. And I think stepping into the Western world and into places like Curtin, right, through Aboriginal pathways with mob, was the way to do it. And it allowed us to find a foot and find a bit of respect in the world for people to go, oh, you guys aren't idiots, right? And then it's sort of weird how it's happened that me, Dan, and Matt have we're close knit. My family is like West Dolan mob. We stick together and grew up all around. But in the last say 10 years, we sort of splintered off for a minute, And then I was doing my thing, Dan was doing his thing, Matt was doing his thing, and then only just recently, we've all just sort of gravitated back together, and it's this force is pulling us together and pushing us forward to create this 3NA stuff, to obviously do something a bit bigger. So yeah.
And you will.
Yeah.
You definitely will. You'll take over the world.
Yeah.
Watch out, Kendrick Lamar.
He's pretty good, man. Yeah.
So who inspired you the most growing up?
Do you mean hip-hop wise, life wise, or?
Both.
Yeah, I'd say my family. My mum, she's a good person. She's always been free-spirited and sort of allowed us to be the people we wanted to be. My brothers, both brothers, inspire me to find new things. And there's been a lot of hip-hop artists I've been inspired by. People like Eminem, people like Nas and Tupac, and people who really understood this deeper game that's going on. And, they're grandmasters. We're speaking the same language. So they've inspired me to grow as an artist and that. See, when it comes to creating this new path, it is hard when you don't have those role models there. You don't have someone to show you the way, to say, hey, this is how you do it. This is where you need to step. For the longest time, we didn't have that there. We didn't have, any sort of leaders or any sort of inspiration to look to, right? Like, especially when you grow up in a harsh environment, you only have negative people around you.
And you would be a role model to so many young people.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So do you have any advice that you'd give to young people that want to be rappers?
Yeah, learn your craft, learn your game. Study hard at it. It ain't just about, showing off or whatever. You gotta listen deeply and practice. You gotta practice, like, night in, night out. Yeah.
So that's what your nights look like?
Used to, yeah. Now it's like second nature, and it allows the convergence of real life with that art, like. But if you're starting out, of course, it's going to take you a little bit of time to do that, and just practice it and be yourself. Like, speak from your heart, speak honestly.
Are you good at freestyling?
Yeah.
Could you do one now, like a little freestyle?
Yeah, a little one or a big one.
Yeah.
You got to give me something to go off.
Yeah, just I don't know, being here in the studio on Painted Black.
Yeah.
That'd be so good. Yeah, can you do that?
Okay, let's face facts. Australia has an outrageous racist past, so looking a bit pale, in fact. Grab a spray can and paint it black.
Oh, I love that.
Sitting on a couch, bobbing their heads, yeah, let's get out. And 8-1 from 3NA and Emma here, yeah, what's up, hey, yeah. Yeah, on the camera, we're doing it live, so y'all can say that one, 8-1 alright, yeah, that's right. These rappers whack, they don't know none of that. This hip-hop track, this painted black, this on the cypher. When we step in this, it's right tighter.
That is so impressive. That is the first ever rap that we've had for Painted Black.
Okay.
So that's amazing. Well, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure talking to you and hearing about the impact you're having and the work that you're doing. And I'm really looking forward to fangirling and following your career. And thank you so much for rapping for me.
You.
That's the best thing that we've had on Painted Black. So thank you so much.
Whack. That was whack. But no, thank you. I appreciate you guys opening up this space. This is awesome. And these things need to be looked at and talked about. Yeah, check us out on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. Dan's doing some incredible stuff up north in the Kimberley, helping out mob. And Matt's doing some incredible stuff here in the city, and got some good things coming.
There'll be big things.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.